Plenty of teams have requirements that don't allow them to have their data in a vendor's cloud account. Sometimes that's a compliance requirement. Sometimes it's a data residency requirement. And sometimes it's that you've already committed spend to your cloud provider and need the utilization to go towards that. NetApp Instaclustr's Bring Your Own Cloud solves this for customers. Instaclustr manages the cluster while the infrastructure sits in an account that you own. Setup starts with an ordinary trial account. After you sign up, you are taken to a brand new console. By default, you can begin deploying services into an account owned by Instaclustr, but we want to set up a link to our own AWS account to deploy there. Click on the Set Up BYOC button on the main page to get started. The form asks for 4 things: a friendly name for the provider account, which is essentially a nickname for your AWS account in the Instaclustr console, your 12-digit AWS account ID you want to link, the region you want to run in, and an S3 bucket name for backups. The S3 bucket should not exist at this point. Once you've filled out the form, a CloudFormation JSON template is created for you. Download the JSON file so that you can import it into CloudFormation in our next step. Once you've downloaded the template, you can open it up and review the actions that will take place when creating the CloudFormation stack. From here, we head over to the AWS CloudFormation service page. Click Create Stack with New Resources. Upload the template, give the stack a name, then click Next. Accept the CloudFormation capabilities checkbox, then click Next again. We'll scroll to the bottom of the review page and click Submit. As this deploys, it creates the S3 bucket, an IAM user and permissions, an EC2 key pair, and the other necessary configurations to allow Instaclustr to deploy into your account. We'll click on the Stack Info tab to make sure this is completed successfully. Now, we'll go back to the Instaclustr Management Console and validate the setup. The connection was created successfully, and we can now deploy new clusters into our own AWS account. Let's deploy OpenSearch. We'll give our new cluster a name, select OpenSearch as our desired application, and then click Next. We're deploying OpenSearch 3.5. We can add our current IP address to the firewall rules now by checking the checkboxes under OpenSearch Options so that we can connect immediately after this deploys. We'll add the AI search plugin to the deployment as well and click Next. Here's where we see our own AWS account. When we were setting up the BYOC configuration, we nicknamed our AWS account BYOC-AWS-account. And you can see that is now our default provider, along with our default S3 backup bucket we specified as well. We'll increase the size of our OpenSearch dashboard node to T4G medium instance sizes and click Next. Now, we can do a quick review of what we are planning to deploy into our AWS account. Accept the terms of service and click Create Cluster. The nodes are being deployed into a new VPC in our AWS account. Once they're deployed, OpenSearch will be installed and configured for us. We'll speed this up for the demo. Real time is roughly 7 to 10 minutes. Now that they are running successfully, we'll take a look in our AWS account for these instances. We'll head over to EC2. Here we can see all 4 of our instances. We can find the VPC2, isolated from everything else in the account. If you want your applications to reach it, VPC peering is a separate and deliberate step that you control. Our managed cluster has been deployed into our AWS account. We are able to see our infrastructure and fully own our data, while NetApp Instaclustr fully manages the deployment for us.